Okay, volume 8. That's where I'm at in the Bible story. This is my book. I got all 10. This is volume 8. And we are at part 2, story 10, Money in a Fish. I like these. Some of these stories, I like these stories. But this is like a refresher to me. Reading these is like a refresher. For me it is. Okay. Even though Jesus tried his best to love people and be kind to them, there were always some men around him who didn't want to be loved. They disliked him because he was so popular and hated him because he was so good. It happened like that at school time. It happens like that at school sometimes. The bad boys take it out on those who behave themselves, and the slackers are mean to the ones who study hard and get good grades. Yeah, and you got to think this is 1955, 70 years ago. A lot has changed. Jesus' enemies were forever trying to trick him into saying or doing something that would get him into trouble. One day a group came to him trying to appear very innocent, asking if it is lawful to pay tribute to Caesar. Jesus saw the trap at once. If he said no, the Romans would arrest him for treason. If he said yes, the people who hated the Romans would have a case against him. So he didn't say yes or no. He merely asked for a coin and pointed to the face on it. Whose image is this? He asked. Caesar, they said, wondering at his question. I actually got one. I got it a long time ago, and I got a coin. Let me see. Let me go ahead and get it. I like to show it. I know it's here. I got a lot of things. I'm sorry. Here it is. No, I'm taking it away from the story. But here's the coin I have. See, it's Augustus. It's actually a Roman coin. See? And this is Augustus or Caesar. Okay, so this is what they asked for. And I actually got one. Okay. Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar, he replied, and unto God the things that are God's. So I'm going to put it back. But this is what I have. And see, out of the illustration, Caesar. And that's the coin that, no, a similar to coin. Okay? Okay? This left them to decide which things belonged to Caesar and which belonged to God. This was too hard for them, so they left. They left him and went their way. Another time the tax collectors in Capernaum asked Peter whether his master paid taxes. Yes, said Peter, hurrying home to tell Jesus what they had said to him. It seems that the tax at the time was half a shekel, and Jesus, having and Jesus, while willing to pay it, didn't have that much money. So he told Peter to do a very unusual thing. lest we should offend them, he said. Go, and then it has a pause, which is condensing the King James, to the to, and then of course it has the illustration right here of Jesus holding a Roman coin. This is about what I just showed you. This is the illustration of it. Okay. He said, "Go," and then it's condensed. It has the pause, to the sea and cast. Jesus promised that the first fish that he would catch would have a piece of money, so will have a piece of money in its mouth. Off went Peter with his line and his hook. Though he had fished all his life, it was the strangest fishing trip he had ever been on. Arriving at the beach, he baited his hook and threw it out far from the shore as he could. Then he waited. Presently there was a sharp tug. His line tightened, and he pulled on it, then carefully hauled it in. Soon he could see a fish jumping and splashing about in the water. It must be it, he said. The master said it would be the first one. Grabbing the fish with both hands, he forced its mouth open. Inside was 1 shekel, exactly the amount needed to pay the tax for both Jesus and himself. And then it, of course, has a picture, but it has a boat on here. And then has fish. And that was the end of part 2, story 10. Uh, so he got the price. So he paid taxes. Okay, we'll stop and I'll get ready for the next one.